So if you're doing this 10-hour window, avoiding the 3 most harmful foods, and you're minding the melatonin surges, you should be losing weight. That's what this study shows. Now, if you want to accelerate weight loss, there's one other hack that I love. And this is once a quarter, throw a 36-hour fast in. Dr. Mindy here, and on this video, I have a new fasting window for you guys with some new fasting hacks to maximize your fat burning capabilities. So if you're new to my channel, I just want to say welcome. I'm a woman on a mission. We are going to get 1 million people to this channel. We're going to get 1 million people fasting this year that weren't fasting before, and we're going to end chronic disease through fasting. So if you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the notification button, and as always, I hope you find every little fasting study and tool that you need here on this channel. Those of you that share my videos, you know how I feel about you. I love being on this journey with you. Thank you for sending the message of fasting out into the world. Everybody wins when an individual takes on a fasting lifestyle. Your health affects me, my health affects you. This is why we're in this together. Okay, ready? New fasting window. Now we get asked this a lot on all of our platforms is, what's the best type of fast should I do? When should I eat? Should I eat breakfast? Should I eat dinner? What fasting window should I be doing? So I'm bringing you a study, and then I want to talk about some hacks that are going to make you lose weight a lot more effortlessly through fasting. So the first thing I want to remind you is that when you look at a 24-hour period, we have an eating window and we have a fasting window. So in the fasting world, we don't look at 6 meals a day. We don't count calories. We are looking at, when am I going to open my eating window? When your eating window isn't open, you're fasting. And when you're fasting, you're making sure that you're not elevating your blood sugar. Okay, with that in mind, I want to tell you about a study that was done out of the UC San Diego. This was published in Cell Metabolism. The study was done by Dr. Panda. So I've been really following some of his work recently. Interesting. He's got great research on fasting, and a lot of his concepts we can bring into what I've already been teaching you guys. So he did this study. This was done a couple of years ago. And he took people who were eating, so they were eating in a 14-hour window, and he asked them to reduce that down to a 10-hour window. So let me explain this for a second. That means in a 24-hour period, for 14 hours they were fasting and 10 hours they were eating. And I'm going to show you an application of this. And they did that for 12 weeks. They had 2 groups of people. One group didn't shorten their fasting window. One group, they gave them calorie restriction, and they just said, stay within your 14-hour eating window, but we're going to give you a certain set of calories and an amount of food that you need to eat. The other group, what they said was, okay, you're going to bring your eating window down to 10 hours, and you're going to eat the same amount of calories as the other people did. These people just get to eat all day. You're only doing it in a 10-hour window. So then this group of people, what is unique to them, this was a human study, what was unique to this group of people is that they had metabolic syndrome. So they were on statins and they were on blood pressure medication. So we already know that they had a metabolic inflexibility. Here's what happened. This is fascinating. The group, now same amount of food. I just want to point out, same amount of food. The group that ate it in a 10-hour eating window saw better improvement in their metabolic markers than the people who ate the food throughout the day. They saw that they lost more weight around their waist. They had more loss of fat around their organs. We call that visceral fat. They saw that their total body fat percentage went down, their blood pressure went down, their LDL cholesterol went down, their hemoglobin A1c went down, and their sleep improved. So we now know it's not what you eat, it's when you eat that really matters for metabolic markers. And this 10-hour eating window is really critical to be able to have a metabolic influence on your body. So when would you do that 10 hours? Well, here's a couple caveats that I want you to think about. The absolute worst time to eat is when melatonin is high. So 2 to 3 hours before bed, your body is making melatonin. As melatonin goes up, it shuts off production of insulin from the pancreas. So you want to make sure that you end your 10 hours, you want to stop eating 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. Now, we also know that melatonin goes really high in the morning. So this is why sometimes it's hard to get out of bed, but you still have a surge of melatonin in the morning. Usually the first couple of hours of the morning is you're going to have a little bit higher melatonin amount. So you don't want to eat first thing in the morning. So this 10-hour window needs to basically, and you get to choose, but it needs to be, you need to cut it off 2 to 3 hours before to bed, and you need to not jump into food a couple hours when you first get up. Those are like the only rules. So you could pretty much eat the good portion of the day. You just got to mind the bookends, is what I call them, the nighttime and the morning melatonin surges. Now, the third thing that I want to tell you is that you guys know my fat burner fast. So here's what I'm thinking for many of you is, how about on a daily basis, we are looking at this 10-hour eating window, minding the melatonin bookends, and we're minding good nutrition still. I want to say that it's really important if you're trying to burn fat to stay off the bad oils, the refined flours and sugars, and the toxic ingredients. So if you're doing this 10-hour window, avoiding the 3 most harmful foods, and you're minding the melatonin surges, you should be losing weight. That's what this study shows. Now, if you want to accelerate weight loss, there's one other hack that I love. And this is once a quarter, throw a 36-hour fast in. And the reason that the 36-hour fast is so important is it's a hormetic stress, and it will start to improve your ability to get over to this fat-burning energy system. So this is called metabolic switching. There is a formula to be able to efficiently metabolically switch. We are teaching that in my Reset Academy. And so if you're going to use a study like this for weight loss, I encourage you to make sure that you don't just get in a groove of 10 hours every eating window all the time for years and years and years. This study, by the way, was done in 12 weeks. So you do need to do it over a significant period of time. But we don't want to fall in the rut of doing the same fast over and over again. So once a quarter, I want you doing a 36-hour fast. So incredible study, incredible hacks. It's going to work for you. If you guys want more information like this, if you want the formula on how to become very good at metabolic switching, how to be a good fat burner and a great sugar burner so that you can keep your weight where you want it to be, join me in my September Fat Burning Reset. This is a brand new reset that I created that is a 15-day experience. I will be taking my community through so that they can lose weight, not only in that 15-day period, but also get the knowledge so they never gain the weight again. In my July reset, holy cow, people who had never fasted before were losing weight left and right, but more importantly, they were having mental ahas and breakthroughs that they can now know how to burn fat for the rest of their life. So if you want that experience, just put September Fat Burning Reset in the comments and my team will send you a link. But I love studies like this. So on this video, what I want you guys to do in the comments, I want you to tell me how much weight you've lost using fasting. Do you do a 10-hour? What's your eating window? Let us all know. And if you've done one of my resets, put it in the comments so that others know what an incredible experience it is. You were born in a miracle. Fat is just an indication that your body is trying to store excess. It doesn't mean that it's your fault. It doesn't mean that you're undisciplined. It just means that nobody taught you how to burn fat efficiently. And studies like this start to teach us. And if you join us in the September Reset, we'll give you the formula. But as always, you guys are a miracle. Don't give up on yourself and share your fasting win. Love being on this journey with you.